This cold and flu season, Instacart is here to help deliver all of your sick day essentials. Whether you're in prevention mode and need vitamins, hand sanitizer, and that lemon tea your Nana swears by, or you're in healing mode and need medicine, soup, and a lot more tissues. Simply download the Instacart app and get sick day supplies that reinvigorate or relieve, delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Excludes restaurant orders, service fees, and terms apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Getting engaged can be stressful. Getting the right ring won't be at BlueNile.com. The jewelers at BlueNile.com have sparkle down to a science with beautiful lab-grown diamonds worthy of your most brilliant moments. Their lab-grown diamonds are independently graded and guaranteed identical to natural diamonds and ready to ship to your door. Get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com, code LISTEN for $50 off.
Picture this. You're in the garage, hands covered in grease, just finished up tuning your engine with a part you found on eBay. And you realize, you know what? I could also use new brakes. So where do you go next? Back to eBay. And you've got eBay Guaranteed Fit. You order a part, and if it doesn't fit, send it back. Simple as that. So when you dive into your next car project, start with eBay. All the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
This is the Daily Tech News for Thursday, March 13th, 2025. We tell you what you need to know, follow up on the context of those stories, and help each other understand.
Today, Brian Ibbott tells us about the tech behind TMS Vegas, and we read from your emails.
Yeah, we do. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Let's start with what you need to know with the big story. Intel has appointed Lip Bhutan as the company's new CEO. This is effective March 18th, so it's still in a couple of days. Former CEO Pat Gelsinger stepped down back in December. That led to interim co-CEOs David Zinsner and Michelle Johnson-Holtas leading the company, at least up until now and for the next couple of days. Lip Bhutan has a degree in nuclear physics from MIT and business administration studies in California, just as a little bit of background for him. He had worked with Intel since 2002 on the board anyways, overseeing its manufacturing efforts, but had stepped away from his role with the company last August in protest of sorts of Gelsinger's risk-averse approach to running the company, not being risky enough, I suppose. As such, his appointment now as CEO, along with his rejoining the board, so he'll be back on the board again, signals stability to a lot of people who are looking at this right now, particularly as he has communicated his intent to maintain Intel's foundry strategy, which is costly, yes, but in many eyes, a necessary approach for the future of the company. Intel's decision to stick with the foundry plan would mean directly competing with Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Co., also known as TSMC, which, as we all know, is a notable, very dominant player in this field. And it does pose, a few challenges as well. Heavy investments in manufacturing and competition in advanced AI chips, where, as we also know, NVIDIA has really remained a formidable force as far as that's concerned. And just to give a little bit more background on Tan, he served as CEO of Cadence Design Systems from 2009 to 2021. And that's important because it's largely been seen, his role has been seen as being pivotal to that company's turnaround. During his time there, he secured deals with TSMC, and those deals led to major deals with Apple. So when you're doing something that gets Apple's attention, you're doing something right. And also the stock market, showed him that, and everyone else, that he was doing something right. The company saw 3,200% stock appreciation during his time in that role. Now, Shannon, so, talk a lot about AI in this day and age with technology, because that's just where we are right now. NVIDIA always thrown around as the behemoth when it comes to AI chips. Intel, I feel like Intel, I don't know if they're the Rodney Dangerfield of AI tech. They don't get enough respect or what it is, but whatever they're doing hasn't been capturing the imagination. And I think a lot of people see this new role, this new, putting TAN in place as a kind of fresh start for Intel to turn things around. Do you think that something like this is, it has the potential to shift perception of Intel's reputation in the right direction?
That's a good question. And, I think based on Lip-Bu-Tan's history and the things that he has done in his past, it sounds like he is going to be laying a really good groundwork for Intel's future, which honestly Intel really needs, because even from a consumer perspective, I'm building computers quite often. That's part of my lifestyle and my hobbies. And even as recent as going to CES and talking to brands who work with these different manufacturers and considering what kind of future devices I'm going to be bringing into my lifestyle for gaming, for 4K editing, for exporting videos like every single day. Whenever companies ask me, what are you considering building? I say, I'll probably build an AMD computer. And it's because I know that the stability is there. And I don't even really think about the AI functionality of these machines. So if Lip-Bu-Tan does make Intel kind of turn around, especially for consumers too, that's what really matters to me, then I might make considerations to use their chipsets again, like I did when I was a little kid. But it seems like that perception has changed so much over the last couple of decades.
Yeah, it is interesting. So then the question that I have, and you're setting up your story of kind of creating these computers and choosing AMD over Intel. When those people ask you which one you're using and you tell them AMD, like, how do they respond? Because I think that ties right in, right? Like that ties into the reputation of where Intel is at right now. Are they like, what do they say in response to that?
A lot of times, and I won't name names or anything, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus over here, but oftentimes I'll say, I'm considering an AMD build, probably NVIDIA GPU and an AMD chipset and an AMD compatible motherboard. And they're like, oh yeah, that's the right way to go. And
the right way to go.
That tells you a lot when even the brands and the manufacturers are favoritizing a specific brand over another one. So if I see that kind of change or fluctuate in the future while we have a new CEO at Intel, then that's going to make me seriously consider maybe I should change up my future builds.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if it's the right kind of comparison, but what comes to mind for me is kind of when you look at Google and how early Google was in on the AI thing with Assistant, 10 years ago or whatever. And then this kind of modern movement into AI happened. Everybody kind of criticized the fact that like Google wasn't leading the charge, and they've made a lot of progress in everything now. And they've had to kind of rewrite the reputation around what their AI story is. And I kind of see something similar for Intel right now. It's a brand that, I want to feel good about the Intel brand. I want to feel like they're doing things because, like you said, they've got this like historical reputation that we've lived through for the last couple of decades. I want to see them succeed, but they don't quite have the potency right now. And maybe this gives them a roadmap to that potency. And I'm here for it.
I need that cool factor in my life for my builds.
Right.
Do you have anything in your life like hardware related where you would consider bringing more Intel devices into your life now that we have a different CEO, or does it really matter to you?
It doesn't really connect much into what I do in the realm of technology directly. Like I don't build, PCs. I have Macs. And so, it's kind of like I take what I'm given. I'm the Apple computer user. Just give me what you think I should have. As opposed
I'm a
to
Windows
kind of
laptop person. So anytime I look at Windows laptops, even then I'm considering, what's the chipset?
Yeah. But I do want to see Intel succeed because of that legacy.
Too.
And I don't know. I mean, I think honestly, if what they're looking to do is to make a dramatic change that sets them up for kind of a renewed vision for the future.
Absolutely.
I mean, going with Tan, they could do much worse compared, based on what I know of and have read about his history of turning companies around. So I think it's probably a pretty good move for them.
I think so too. More competition is always a good thing.
Indeed.
Well, DTNS is made possible by you, the listener. Special thanks to Hector Bones, Tim Ashman, and Joni Hernandez. And we have a new Patreon, Gabriella.
Yeah. Welcome. Excuse me. I've been screaming so loudly for you that my voice is cracking. You guys are awesome.
Everyone's talking about AI these days, right? It's changing how we work, how we learn, and how we interact with the world at a tremendous pace. It's a gold rush at the frontier, but if we're not careful, we might end up in a heap of trouble. Red Hat's podcast, this season on Compiler, is diving deep into how AI is reshaping the world we live in. From the ethics of automation to the code behind machine learning, it's breaking down the requirements, capabilities, and implications of using AI. Check out the new season of Compiler, an original podcast from Red Hat. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Picture this. You're in the garage, hands covered in grease, just finished up tuning your engine with a part you found on eBay, and you realize, you know what? I could also use new brakes. So where do you go next? Back to eBay. You can find anything there. It's unreal. Wipers, headlights, even cold air intakes. It's all there. And you've got eBay Guaranteed Fit. You order a part, and if it doesn't fit, send it back. Simple as that. Look, DIY fixes can be major. Doesn't matter if it's just maintenance or a major mod. You got it, especially when things are guaranteed to fit. So when you dive into your next car project, start with eBay. All the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
Getting engaged can be stressful. Getting the right ring won't be at BlueNile.com. The jewelers at BlueNile.com have sparkle down to a science with beautiful lab-grown diamonds worthy of your most brilliant moments. Their lab-grown diamonds are independently graded and guaranteed identical to natural diamonds and ready to ship to your door. Get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com, code LISTEN for $50 off.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
There's more we need to know today, so why don't we dive right into it with some late-breaking news in the briefs.
Google announced that Android 16 has reached platform stability with its third beta release this morning. There aren't many new features at that late stage, other than the inclusion of Auracast broadcast audio support on Pixel 9 devices with compatibility for LE audio hearing aids. Another accessibility feature included is an outline text option for high contrast text. Android 16 is scheduled to release in full sometime during Q2 2025.
Yeah, at this late stage, it's not about new features, right? It's all about stability, and they're getting really close to releasing this. So don't expect those features kind of don't sound amazing on their own, but hey, you're getting something at this late stage. I suppose that's a good thing. Google announced new gaming features timed with this year's Game Developers Conference, GDC. Google Play games on PC will become broadly available later this year with support for all mobile games by default and playability badges that indicate compatibility. You're also going to see a lot of PC games being brought over to mobile through this. So that's interesting. Also, custom controls, a game sidebar, and multi-account support, along with integrating play points into the PC gaming experience. And Google also announced that Vulkan is officially Android's graphics API in Android 16. That brings, improved ray tracing, multi-threading, all sorts of things that make graphics on Android 16 just look better.
Ooh, how exciting for us gamers. Yeah. Samsung has announced that it is changing its revenue share model for games in the Galaxy Store to an 80-20 split. Prior to the change, Samsung took 30% of an app's revenue, which was more or less on par with Google's offering of 30% beyond 1 million in earnings. Google does take only 15% for the first 1 million, however. Regardless, an 80-20 split works in developers' favors, even if the Galaxy Store is smaller than the Google Play Store. The new model kicks into gear on May 15th, 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller app store, but one great way to incentivize people to make more is to give them more, to
Definitely
give them a reason for doing it in the first place. So good news there if you're a developer. Meta is set to launch its version of Community Notes. This is its redesigned approach to fact-checking on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. This is going to happen March 18th here in the US, so it's a few days from now. The new system is inspired by X's system that involves contributors suggesting and rating notes to verify information, with notes appearing when contributors agree on their helpfulness. In fact, it uses the same open source algorithm that's driving X's Community Notes implementation, though they do have plans to tweak that algorithm to better fit Meta's needs over time.
I can't wait to use this to reply to everybody and say that video was AI.
Yeah.
Spotify announced an expansion of its audiobook offerings with a new publishing program that enables authors to potentially turn their short stories into audiobooks on the platform and elsewhere. If chosen by Spotify, the story will be produced and distributed, and the author will be paid in advance along with royalties. Requirements include less than 20,000 English words in the romance, mystery, sci-fi, thriller, and fantasy genres.
Okay, so democratizing even more the production of audiobooks. I mean, it's not really putting the keys into the hands of the people who are writing the books. They still kind of have to be recognized by Spotify as being a good choice for this, but
right,
broadening that out, never a bad thing.
It's a good step.
It's a great step. A new WhatsApp feature has been spotted in the most recent beta for Android that hints at the arrival of threaded conversations in the popular messaging app. Message threads are likely to apply to conversations, group chats, communities, and channels, and users will be able to tap on the message to view all of the comments tied to that chain, as we're very used to seeing by now with threaded messages. No word on when this will see a wider release, though. It's still in development.
That's going to make organizing conversations way easier.
Usually does.
Mozilla is urging Firefox users to update their browsers to the latest version to prevent security risks associated with the impending expiration of a key root certificate that takes place tomorrow, March 14th, 2015. Or 2025. 2015, man, I'm thinking about old times over there. I'm on a time machine. Users should update to Firefox 128 or later to avoid the disabling of extensions and potential exposure to malicious add-ons, untrusted certificates, and compromised password alerts. This applies to all platforms except for iOS, as it has a separate certificate management system.
Well, la-ti-da, iOS, jeez. Being all safe over there, whatever. And then finally, who doesn't want a bundle of 8 ginormous Samsung TVs, right? That sounds great to me. Samsung is targeting sports ball fans with the buzzer beater bundle, say that 3 times, ahead of college basketball's March Madness tournament. For $10,307.42, you too can get a 98-inch 4K Crystal UHD TV, a 65-inch 8K QLED, 3 65-inch 4K QLEDs, and 3 55-inch 4K QLED TVs. The whole bundle. Bought alone, the group is valued at around $16,000. You save almost $6,000 when you buy in bulk. And there you go, sports ball fans. I'm sure there are a few of you out there. God, who knew buying a huge amount of massive TVs in bulk was the thing that exists? But
I never knew this was a market that had to be advertised to.
Yeah. I mean, well, and it's not just when you think about it, it's not, because they're marketing this as like, you're such a fan, you want to watch all the games simultaneously, but you don't just get the TVs. Like, you kind of need the infrastructure that drives the TVs behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Too. So maybe the money that you save goes into the infrastructure. There you go.
I guess if you put them like in your bathrooms or something.
They're showing them all on a single wall as if you were like in a brew pub or something,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right. Those are the essentials for today. Let's dive a little bit deeper in the ongoing stories and follow up.
Every year, the morning stream takes its show on the road to Las Vegas for a week of games and, of course, a whole lot of fun. Tom spoke with Brian Ibbott from TMS about the technology that they need to take with them when they do that.
Ibbott, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Always love talking to Tom Merritt. So anytime.
Likewise, I too like talking to Tom Merritt. And you.
Every day in front of the mirror. You can do this. You can do this, Tom.
It's not even true. I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice like so many people.
Sure.
So quickly, for those who aren't familiar, because I know a big chunk of our audience is, but there might be a few who aren't. What is TMS Vegas?
Yeah, TMS Vegas is a fan event for the Morning Stream podcast hosted by me and Scott Johnson. It is an annual event that we hold appropriately because of the name of the event in Vegas. And we work with the hotel out there, the Plaza, to basically try and have a good central place for the whole group to hang out. We check out the newest weird entertainment things out there. We kind of have a regular going up in the high roller bar car. It's the big Ferris wheel thing, and every fourth car has a bar in it that serves unlimited cocktails while you're in it. This year we're going to do a new miniature golf place that's been Vegasized and is all fancy schmanциed up.
Yeah.
And a video game lounge that we go to. Like, we basically do all the things in Vegas that parents send their kids to go do while they gamble.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. And it's a lot of fun. I can attest to having done it. There is, of course, the TMS show that you do,
Correct.
Plus some games and things that you are recording to post both as its own content as well as part of TMS. Talk to me a little bit about the technology that you have to take with you to do both of those things.
Yeah. So the live show is basically a version of the live show that we do on the stream every day, but of course it's in person, so we need a lot more equipment for that. We usually take some extra mics, some extra SM58s, Shure SM58s, good and portable, still a great microphone, can't complain about those.
You can nail nails with them. They're super
exactly durable. And desktop stands. You would be surprised, like the number of places you go where they don't have desktop stands, so you got to make sure you bring plenty of those. For the game show, which we record and then show live at the event, the recording of the game show, we need, of course, all the equipment that we need to take for that. So, for example, this year we're taking a car battery, some jumper cables, a mouth guard. Oh, you're playing, aren't you? You're actually playing. I shouldn't give away anything that we're actually using for the...
I don't know if I'm playing anymore, depending on that.
Taskville is modeled after the UK game show Taskmaster, and where we put the TMS guests and hosts through terrible tasks to see how they think on their feet and who can think outside the box. So, of course, all the equipment for that. But to record it, we need a few people in the room mic'd up. Of course, our players, our contestants, me. And for that, we use different versions of the Rode Go. KT Data has the newer versions that just magnetize onto a little disc on a necklace in your chest. It's really great.
So it's like a lavalier mic, right?
A lavalier mic, correct. It's wireless. Yep. And then I have the older version, which is still wireless, but it's the one that you see YouTubers holding in their hands as they talk to it instead of using it as a lavalier mic these days. but it's the one with the big fuzzy Wookiee finger on it. Yeah.
So you stick those on the guest, you stick those on yourself, and then what are you using to capture the video? Because you're needing multiple angles.
We are, and I know KT data. We've got a couple stationary. We're actually using iPhones for a couple of the stationary cameras on tripods, and then KT data is using it is a new GoPro, and I don't know the model number, but it's one of the newer ones that he's able to kind of move around with and kind of get close-up shots of what the contestants are doing, but a way to do it without interfering, because that's really the key.
You want to have it be small, so you're not like this big looming camera. Because professionals are used to having cameras in their face and acting like they're not there, but we're dealing with all levels of professionalism.
We are, exactly.
From professionals down to me.
Right. No, I'd say we're all dealing with different levels of lack of professionalism.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so you want something that you want to make sure that they don't think about the fact that they're being recorded, that they're on camera. So as small and inconspicuous as possible. And those tripod iPhones are usually far enough away that they're not obvious. They're not interfering with the taskers, the taskees. And then they're also kind of a backup audio source if we need it, but the Rode mics have been so good for all this.
Then tell me about the edit, because now you've got audio from multiple different places that you're trying to sync up with video.
Exactly.
Who does the editing, and what are they using for that?
KT Data and Hammond are both doing the editing, because it is a big job. Usually we want to keep the flow of each task. There's usually two tasks. So we have KT Data do one and Hammond do the other. And that way we can keep things in a very similar flow. If we had both of them doing the editing, you might find two different styles of editing in one task, and we don't want that. So we usually have one person edit one task and the other person. What they're using, I believe, is Final Cut Pro. I think that's what KT Data uses. And I guess that probably is what Hammond has to use as well. To do the same thing.
And then they're outputting it as files that you're going to play in the live show, right?
Correct. And the way I do that, you never know what a venue is going to have. Fortunately, we've worked with the Plaza's bar, which is called the Sand Dollar, enough times that we know what to expect and what to bring. I take an Apple TV, one of the newer 4K models, and I plug it into an extender cable that they have going up into a projector. And from there, I can do whatever I want. I can use my laptop and send that video to the Apple TV. I could do it with my iPad if I need to. And that way, even pre-show, we're able to send music to it without interfering with the potential stuff that's going to be on the desktop or on the laptop that needs to be there.
Now, are you recording the entire show then and streaming it?
We are indeed. Yeah. KT Data sets up in the back with a camera and a microphone, or camera, and taps into the mixer, the bar's mixer, to get a really clean audio source. He'll live stream all that, but he's also recording it, and we'll kind of mix the recording of that with the much higher quality Taskville recordings, so that when it eventually does go up online, you're still getting audience noise, which you need for that, the laughter and stuff like that, the applause, the reactions. But you also want as clean video and audio as possible to go along with that. So it's a mix of those two things, balanced artfully, as only KT Data can do.
And then people can watch it live, or is it just posted later?
Both. You'll be able to watch. You'll be able to watch a live stream of the live TMS Vegas show. That'll take place on April 30th at 7 p.m. Pacific. So that's 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. On the East Coast, etc. Yeah. And not sure where that'll be, but if you are a follower of, if you listen to TMS, we'll let you know where to find all that.
Well, and that's our last question then. If people are like, wait, I didn't know about this, but now I want to go, what should they do?
Check. So TMS.Vegas is the website we use for everything TMS Vegas related. And on the day of the show, we'll actually have a link to where people can watch watch the live stream, or afterwards, a link to where you can find the video on YouTube. And we have last year and the year before's videos up on YouTube. Just do a search for TMS Vegas, and you'll find the videos from last year and the year before. Just kind of get an idea of how the whole event goes.
Fantastic. Ibbott, thanks so much for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Tom. Thanks for having me.
If you have feedback about anything that gets brought up on the show, get in touch with us on the socials at DTNS Show on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Mastodon over at mstdn.social. For TikTok and YouTube, you can find us at Daily Tech News Show.
Picture this. You're in the garage, hands covered in grease, just finished up tuning your engine with a part you found on eBay. And you realize, you know what? I could also use new brakes. So where do you go next? Back to eBay. You can find anything there. It's unreal. Wipers, headlights, even cold air intakes. It's all there. And you've got eBay Guaranteed Fit. You order a part, and if it doesn't fit, send it back. Simple as that. Look, DIY fixes can be major. Doesn't matter if it's just maintenance or a major mod. You got it, especially when things are guaranteed to fit. So when you dive into your next car project, start with eBay. All the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
From ADT comes Trusted Neighbor, the new standard in home access. Through the ADT Plus app, easily grant and automate event-based or scheduled access for neighbors, friends, and helpers. Notify trusted individuals of events like alarms or packages, and set access windows for planned guests or even the dog walker without interrupting your day. Visit ADT.com. When every second counts, count on ADT. Requires ADT Complete Pro monitoring plan and compatible devices. Copyright 2025 ADT LLC. All rights reserved.
All right, we end every episode of DTNS with some shared wisdom, and today Michael has a wish.
I want an inexpensive electric car. I bought a used Toyota Camry, and I kept it for 20 years. 2005, 170,000 miles so far. Best wishes from Michael.
Dang. So is Michael looking for us to like suggest an inexpensive electric car? Or is he just saying like, I just really want this? Because
hey, I get it.
You obviously know how to take care of your vehicle. That's good stuff, Michael. But I'm not a car guy, so I can't tell you which one to get. I don't know.
I would say run that thing into the ground and then consider a used EV vehicle, because the used market has dropped in price. So that could be a good consideration for you.
Big time. You could probably find some really cheap Teslas right now. Thanks to Brian Ibbott and Michael for contributing to today's show. Thank you, Shannon, for being here. I love doing this with you. Thank you out there for being along for Daily Tech News Show. The show is made possible by our patrons at patreon.com/DTNS. DTNS has a live version called DTNS Live on YouTube and Twitch. You can find details on that and more on dailytechnewsshow.com. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
The DTNS family of podcasts, helping each other understand.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
What makes a great pair of glasses? At Warby Parker, it's all the invisible extras without the extra cost. Their designer quality frames start at $95, including prescription lenses, plus scratch-resistant, smudge-resistant, and anti-reflective coatings, and UV protection, and free adjustments for life. To find your next pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to find the Warby Parker store nearest you, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.